Like many sportsmen and longtime bow hunters, a chance to try something new is an exciting proposition. And that's why BWP Pro staffer Wayne Enger decided last year to jump head first into the fastest growing shooting sport on the scene today. Yes, crossbows are fun, safe, simple to operate, and have proven themselves as extremely accurate and lethal for all types of hunting.
Almost to our destination here in Oklahoma.
So last year, with a brand new Excalibur crossbow in hand, Wayne set out for Oklahoma on a wild hog hunt.
This is the first time I've done this from a sitting position, so we'll see how easy this is. Oh, just like a dream. This is really cool. There's a bunch of them there. A lot of mature ones. There's some different colors, different sizes. The one with the white stripe on it. This is not the last time that I'll be using the Excalibur. I found it extremely enjoyable. And having never used one before, I've got a whole new respect for him.
And as he promised, that wouldn't be Wayne's last crossbow hunt. This past fall, he decided to go back to Pennington Creek Hunting Club in hopes of scoring on a white-tailed deer with his crossbow.
It's always fun to get back here on your very first day because the anticipation of the hunt is always foremost on your mind. The expectations are high, and every day after that, it's still a high, but you also sort of know what to expect after the first day. So that very first day is so crucial.
The average deer here are probably from 130 to 140 average. We have a lot of good bucks, a lot of good numbers of deer. We have quite a few does. Our population's real high.
Well, that was our first close encounter for the night. Like 1 yard from the ground blind. Anybody is going to question whether the ground blinds work or not. That's pretty much proof that they do. Little 6-point. Going back to his bedding area, I would imagine. Nice little deer. Certainly hope something bigger comes along at this point, but at least it's encouraging to start to see bucks. Another little buck. These little ones have got to turn into a big one here pretty soon, I'm assuming. And not a shooter yet, but hey, we'll be patient. I think it's a 9. Got kind of an unusual rack. All of the points are out towards the end. I don't think he's got brow tines, or just a small brow tine. Nice animal. But I think I'll wait just a little bit longer. I'm gonna chase that doe now for a while. He's stomping the ground as he's running. Those does must not be receptive yet because they're not standing still for him. And there he goes chasing another one. At least it's fun to watch. Decided to just wait for a little bit because I know there's some bigger ones around by judging from the pictures we saw. So I'm just going to hold off. Two bucks up there right now. It's early in the evening. They're sparring. 2 bucks. Really cool. Big buck is posturing, showing he's the dominant of the two. They haven't got a clue we're here right now. Now we just need a bigger one to walk in. That Forky's going to be a pretty nice buck in a few years. Give him a couple more years, he ought to be decent. Sure is fun watching deer anyway. Now, just got to get a big one to come step in front of us. I always have had a philosophy that the deer will go to the best feed that's available to them at the location that they're at. And I'm sure they're going back to eat acorns for the rest of the night. Tomorrow morning, after they're full of acorns for a while, then that's probably their preferred food. Then they'll be back in here to get a little bunch of the oats tomorrow morning. And I'm thinking that that's what's going on, because we're not seeing a lot of deer tonight. That was only like the 5th one, so I think tomorrow morning it's going to be really good.
Continuing now near Mill Creek, Oklahoma, where it hasn't been all peaches and cream for pro staffer Wayne Enger on his crossbow whitetail hunt.
There's been a few challenges with this hunt. One of them is, I think, it's the timing. We are just pre-rut and it's a little bit earlier than even pre-rut, and so the scrape lines really haven't gone down, the rub lines aren't really down yet. The bucks are chasing just a little bit, but really not showing a lot of interest and activity in breeding. We also have a huge acorn crop on the ground that's keeping many of the animals in the woods and not coming out to the fields where I happen to be at.
So that brings us to day 5 and a new setup on Wayne's final evening of his hunt. It's a box blind on top of a hill, giving him a good vantage point of the surrounding area.
I'm going to put Wayne up in the stand on the hill there. It's a real good crossing area. It's up kind of by itself, but the traffic runs all over the place up there. It's just a real good pattern. They got acorns at the bottom. They feed on water down there on the other side. It's just a real good crossing area in general, a good population of deer down there, so we're going to sit down there and see if we can't get something done.
Okay, where do you think they're going to be coming from?
Yeah, look for them to come from behind you here, anywhere, and they'll come out and they'll cross this hill, north and south both, and then some of them will walk kind of up that little trail back up towards you. So they'll kind of, about 3 or 4 different ways sometimes they'll enter the field, so just kind of be watching all angles.
Keep the eyes open.
You never know with them, they come from everywhere. So
I'll see you at dark again.
that'll work, all right.
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you later.
I think this is going to be good. Just absolutely love looking over this terrain. You can see so far, you should be able to see animals coming. I like this setup. Works good for a crossbow, would not work for a bow. Crossbow's perfect. Got up on top of a hill. There was just basically a travel corridor between water and a bedding area and a feeding area. So got set up there, and there was no activity. I was really surprised. The deer just didn't want to move. There was a few, finally towards dark, there was a few that walked off in the distance, and thought it was pretty much the end of the night. Well, we only got a few minutes left probably of hunting, and I haven't seen a whole lot. So, I mean, right now I kind of would take anything that comes in, but I haven't seen much of anything, so we're probably gonna, no, we're not gonna call it a wrap. There's two coming right now. We got two coming. I did want to harvest my very first deer with a crossbow, and it wasn't a buck, but it was a doe, and they came up here and gave me about a 25-30 yard shot, and she didn't drop right away, but I saw her go down at the bottom of the hill here, so it should be a very sharp recovery. But there's my very first deer with a crossbow, so it was the one thing on my bucket list, and it's done. I know there are many people who don't think that harvesting antlerless deer is the kosher thing to do. But you know, if people don't do it, pretty soon you have an overabundance of does and not enough breeding stock. There are not enough bucks to go around to really do a good job of breeding the does. And you end up with a balance which is really out of sync.
Helping us manage our does is a lot of, it's the biggest part of, you know, taking care of a place. So you got to do it too.
Well, you know, this one was my very first crossbow kill, and it was on my bucket list to do this year. I had 4 species I wanted to get. This is number 3. I don't think I'll fulfill my whole dream, but that's why I picked up the crossbow. I wanted to try something. We don't get a chance to do it much in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it was an opportunity to get out of state and try it. So you fulfilled one of my plans.
I'm glad.
This past spring, like Wayne Inger did the fall before, Rob Dykman, the president of Excalibur Crossbows, made his own way to Pennington Creek Hunting Club in Oklahoma. His query? Rob's hoping to bag himself a wild hog. But first, Rob shows us the ins and outs of their latest model, the amazing new Matrix Mega 405, which he's using today.
The Mega 405 features Excalibur's compact recurve technology, produces 405 feet per second and producing over 100 pounds of kinetic energy, more than enough power for any big game animal on the planet. One of the main advantages of the Excalibur crossbow is the fact that you can actually decock your crossbow at the end of a hunt. Standard features include ambidextrous cheek piece, silent manual safety, Guardian anti-dry fire. Comes with our REDS recoil energy dissipation system, eliminates noise and vibration.
All right, we're here. Let's get ready.
It wasn't long before Rob was set up in a box blind, waiting patiently for some wild hogs to show themselves.
This hunt all started when I met Babe at the ATA show and he asked me what I loved to hunt. One of the first things that come to my mind is hog hunting. I love to hunt hogs. It's a great thing to go chase in the off season when you're not hunting bear, deer, or moose. Hogs are just a great animal to go have some fun with. We wanted to test out our new Matrix 405 crossbow. It's a brand new bow for 2014 and there's nothing better to test some arrows on than hogs.
It's always a good idea, guys, when you crossbow hunt, that when you're set up before the action starts, take a look at your surroundings in your blind. Test your crossbow, make sure your limbs aren't going to hit anything. Then you can make a nice, clean, good shot. It'll just better prepare you when the moment of truth comes and you want to make a good shot.
We have a good population of wild hogs, and you'll get groups of some 20 to 30 sometimes that are big groups. If we don't hunt them, we don't try to get them knocked down. They tear our grass up for our cows. They'll pollute water. They're nasty. They roll around in everything. They'll run your cows off feed even. Just a problem here in Oklahoma we have with the tearing up grasslands and stuff like that, and hay fields, where you go to baling your hay and you're hitting big old chug holes because they've tore it all up. So we're trying to hunt them and keep the population down and have a good time while we're doing it.
Got a whole harem of pigs just walked in here. They're just over the left here. They're all in this thick brush, so hopefully they walk out. It looks like they want to come into the opening here when we get a shot. Let's see what happens.
Hogs are a real unique critter to hunt. A lot of times you hear them coming, they sound like a freight train coming through the bush. The first group of hogs we encountered, they snuck right up on us. We never heard them. There's about 15 of them. Little hogs, big hogs, and there turned out there was nothing really that we wanted to shoot out of it because they all were pretty small. It was our first day of hunting. So we decided to pass, but it was real exciting just to see some hogs again.
34 yards, definitely shootable, but there's a lot of them, but they're not that big. I think we're gonna hold off here a little bit, see if there's some bigger ones that want to come in. It's pretty exciting stuff though.
It was getting around 7:30 and another big troop of them came in, and right away we knew we were shooting. A big white one came out, and it was a no-brainer. That was the pig we were taking a shot at if we got a chance.
That's a hit. That's a hit. That's exciting. We waited. We saw, Brad saw a couple hogs coming into our right. Past our old blind there, they rolled in. There's about 5 or 6 of them. I don't even know. I'm so excited right now. That was pretty exciting. And there's a good sized brown one, but then some smaller ones. And then this great big white one came out, and we said, you know what, we gotta take it. When you're filming a hog hunt, it's always difficult to coordinate which pig you're actually going to shoot with the cameraman. But there was no mistake in that one. We said, let's take the big white one. As soon as he gave us a shot, we drilled them. We could hear it hit, and they jumped back down into the creek bottom, and saw them all come up, and he never came up. So I think we got ourselves our first Oklahoma hog. That's awesome.
I was pretty excited to see what would happen. I was actually aiming double shoulder on it. I wanted to see what this arrow and broadhead would do coming off the Matrix Mega 405. He didn't go more than 20 yards with a double pass through, and great blood trail. Couldn't have asked for better. Everything worked out just perfect.
Yes, I know there are some compounded longbow elitists who disapprove of crossbow hunting being included within the archery season. And to me, that's just sour grapes, and an attempt to keep hunting land and the archery season all to themselves. Let's face it, modern bows of all types are extremely effective, fast shooting, and easier to become accurate with than ever before. When it comes to the basic premise of quietly shooting an arrow or bolt at game at close range, it shouldn't be about the weapon. It should be about the opportunity to go hunting and enjoy a unique challenge. And that's why I chose Wayne Enger, who enjoys hunting by both means, as an example today. In Oklahoma, he hunted both with his crossbow and his compound bow. In the end, he took whitetails by each method within the same season. Was either experience less challenging, less thrilling, rewarding, beneficial managing the doe herd, or less of anything else that makes hunting with a bow hunting? Sometimes I just think it's important to call a spade a spade. Thankfully, more and more states are waking to the notion that bow and crossbow seasons should indeed become one and the same. There's not a reason in the world why crossbows should only be allowed for the handicapped and senior citizens. I applaud those states that provide equal opportunity for both types of bow hunters, and I look forward to more of them following suit. Let the hunter choose his weapon. I mean, why not? Isn't there plenty of room for everybody? I'm Babe Winkelman. Thanks so much for watching today, and until next time, everybody, hey, good hunting.